You're still watching Ways Now. International Day of Acceptance is observed every year on January 20th, and it is a day to fill our hearts with the sublime power of acceptance. It's important to be accepting of certain things in life. This idea unquestionably holds in the case of accepting the disability of the person. And this is a day when people all over the world come together to support and embrace the challenges that come along with having a disability. International Day of Acceptance was created as a way to recognize social acceptance of disability. The symbol of acceptance comprises of a wheelchair in the shape of a heart, and this symbol unified people of all abilities and helped ignite conversations that would help change attitudes for the better. So, happy International Acceptance Day. Has anybody lived with anyone that had maybe some level of disability at some point?
I have lived with my dad after he had a stroke, and I wouldn't say it's a disability, but he wasn't the way he was before he had the stroke. So we had to take care of him. We had to accept him the way he was because he wasn't able to do what he used to do. But with that, it doesn't make any difference. The bottom line is you have to love people for who they are and accept them just the way they are. It makes no difference.
Well, you know, every time we talk about disabilities on the show, I always say that it's culturally in Nigeria. Yeah. We see it as, we associate disabilities with the beggars on the streets. Exactly. And there's so many people living with disabilities in Nigeria. So it's good to have a day like this where we can raise awareness that, look, disabled people live wonderful lives. They have contributed to the world. Look at what's his name now, Hawkins. You know, so they can still do amazing things, whatever the disability, and it's getting better. Shouldn't say easier, but it's getting better for them to integrate into society, and that needs to be a goal for us. Inclusivity and inclusion is something that we need to think about in everything that we're doing, from our infrastructure to...
I was going to say the infrastructure is not helping.
Yeah, so from our infrastructure to even in corporate Nigeria to making it acceptable and making it possible for a disabled person to integrate into
the society,
into the corporate world. So it's good to have a day. Anything that could raise awareness for disability, I'm all for it.
Absolutely.
All right, so let's move on. So who are we starting with? Let me start with you, EC. What did you find for us in the news today?
Okay, in the news, this caught my attention, and it is by the Sultan of Sokoto, Alhaji Saad Abubakar I. And he says that politics is too important to be left to the politicians alone. And he stated this, he actually stated this on the 2023 politics, economics, insecurity themed monarch, blah blah blah, something. I can't remember what he was actually saying, but the bottom line is what he did was that he stated that it's important that we step up to the plate and let's close the ranks and come together to see what we can do to move the country forward. That it's not good for us to leave everything to the politicians, and I totally concur with him, which actually resonates with our topic for today about us looking inward in solving Nigeria's problem.
Okay. On that note, let me leave. We've been discussing politics all through.
Well, I mean, it's the season,
so we don't have a choice.
It's in the news, and this is what it is. So even I, who say, "Oh, I don't ever want to talk politics," but you know, we all have a role to play. We have a part to play, and the media is a very powerful medium. So it's our job to look beyond the narrative of, you know, the excitement of continuous voter registration. And I say it again, when the choice is between the devil and deep blue sea, I really don't know what your voter's card is going to do, but the reality of it is we do all need to get involved. We need to do something if we want to see a change, if we want to see the Nigeria of our dreams. So
that voter's card matter. You heard the drama that was going on over the radio of one of the candidates saying that voter's card expired. That was very wrong. Yes. Very wrong. What's it called? I mean,
information to pass across.
Information to pass across. INEC has come out to say that that is wrong. It's called the permanent voters card for a reason. So you need to understand that it's a permanent voters card.
Absolutely.
You know, so people should not go and start having, so that they start battling the issues of double voting and all that. I get that part. Truly, we all do have a role to play.
Absolutely.
And we'll keep doing our part. We'll keep talking about it. And we need to educate. That's the word now, is polytracy.
Polytracy.
We have to keep educating all the electorate.
Everyone.
That's right.
All right, Uti, your story.
So again, mine is also in the same sector. Mine is a little bit funny, actually. It says, what you need now is to rest the way I am resting. Charly boy advises Tinubu. So I thought this was hilarious. The veteran singer, actor Charly boy has advised the APC national leader, Bola Tinubu, that perhaps he should not run for the office of the president in 2023. I love the part where he says the kingmaker must not become a king. So if I had your type of money, he says to Tinubu, I'd be resting. So guy, go and chill with the big boys.
Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome.
So my story is actually quite interesting because we ran out of time. Novak Djokovic.
My guy. Who has been...
So, I don't understand what went wrong. But we all know the drama that happened. That he was deported from Australia. I think he has a 3-year ban. You know, because he didn't take his COVID vaccination and blah, blah, blah. Long story short, the Australian government banned him from Australia and he has a 3-year ban. So they says he's in talks with his lawyers about suing the Australian government for $3.2 million for ill treatment. Now, the unvaccinated tennis star claimed he had a visa exemption but was deported before the Australian Open. The damages of the 3.2 million includes the 2.3 million prize money that he believes that he would have won, because again, he is the one that's been winning it all these years. Expected player to win the money. Then according to the source close to his agent, it says it is well known that Novak and his family feel he was poorly treated in the quarantine hotel in Melbourne. His mother revealed how it was full of fleas and maggots, and he was kept like a virtual prisoner. So he was also suspected of, it was suspected that he was humiliated, right? It was a humiliating treatment for him, and he would sue, that he should sue. So he's in talks with the government. But I don't think he should sue. I think he should sue the people that, right? The people that did not do his team, that did not do their due diligence before allowing him to travel when he knows that he's refusing to take the COVID vaccine. We all know now that anybody that wants to travel to any part of the world, you must first of all go and check. Even now, at the point of issuing a visa, I was trying to apply for a visa to a country. They will tell you from that point, boldly written there, if you do not have your COVID vaccination, don't even bother coming. You can't go into our country. You can't apply for the visa. You cannot check into any hotel. Right? These are laws that are already on ground. So his team should have done their job, checking, not the other way around, you know?
So I think there was a long debate. I was seeing the story. I didn't follow it in depth. I don't know if he was given an exemption, but I know that there was this huge talk beforehand of him. So the vaccine issue didn't start today. He didn't just rock up and turn up in Australia. There was a long issue. It was an ongoing thing even before the tournament. So there's obviously been some mix-up or something. Like I said, I didn't follow the story, but it was a live story, a live situation even before the tournament. So mine is simple. People have rules for a reason. The Australian government, I can tell you, does not play. When you arrive in Australia, you're so I think back to when there was foot and mouth in the UK. So in Australia today, they were hit really badly by it. If you fly to Australia today, if you have been in any kind of soil, your shoes will be taken from you and decontaminated. So they don't play. And with all their immigration rules, they have some of the strictest.
You know what entered Djokovic's head is this fact that, because in fairness, people go to Australian Open to watch him.
Yeah.
He is the star of the match. he is the one people look up to. He's been winning this thing back to back. And no, you give it to him, he's number one. I think that number one entered his head.
I think it was just
because he thought they were going to make exceptions for him.
I don't know.
So this thing is not a Nigerian thing. You know what I mean?
I don't know that.
Sometimes we used to blame ourselves.
I don't think that it was exceptional. I want to see it from the perspective of you can't force me to be vaccinated.
I get that part.
I get many people about that.
Yes, I get that part. And he also felt that they would make an exception since it was him.
I don't know about that.
And
but the thing for me really is, like I said, I don't know the story, so I can't speak to it too much. But I know there were a lot of talks beforehand. So obviously he thought that he had been exempted before traveling. So it didn't just go, oh, I'm not vaccinated, I'm going to go and everything will be fine.
So that's why he should go back to his team. It's not the Australian government. If you're thinking of who to sue or who to fire, it's your team. They should have done their duty. They should have been 100% sure and gotten that clearance from the Australian government before even allowing him to fly. Sometimes we think it's a Nigerian thing. It's not a Nigerian thing.
It's an international team.
Yeah. Everybody likes to be treated like they are important,
Aren't you important?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I am.
But I also follow the rules and regulations.
Absolutely.
All right, on that note, we're going to take a break. When we come back from the break, we want to discuss Nigeria solving our problem by ourselves. Stay with us. We'll be right back.